Alex's boots sank slightly into the soft, strange soil of Zytheria. The planet smelled of wet metal and wild plants, unlike anything he had ever known on Earth. He paused for a moment, breathing in the sharp, fresh air, and looked around. Jagged mountains loomed in the distance, glowing faintly with an unusual blue light. The sky was a deep violet, with two suns slowly moving across the horizon. "Stay alert," Captain Harris said, his voice crackling through the communicator. "The readings show high levels of life signs nearby. Could be dangerous." Alex tightened his grip on his equipment, though he knew he might not need it. On Earth, he had learned to rely on his body, his instincts, and his courage. Weapons were useful, but sometimes raw strength and quick thinking were the only things that could save a person. "Got it." "Captain," Alex replied, scanning the tall, alien trees that swayed in the strange wind. Their leaves shimmered like glass, reflecting both suns in dazzling colors. Every shadow looked alive, and every rustle made him tense. The team moved carefully through the forest, a mix of human explorers and Zytherian guides who had been hired to help them navigate the planet. Alex walked slightly ahead, eyes sharp and muscles ready. There was something in this forest, a quiet that felt like it was watching him back. Suddenly, a deafening roar echoed through the trees. The ground trembled. Alex froze. The team scattered, weapons drawn, but Alex's eyes were already fixed on the creature emerging from the shadows. It was enormous, with scales that glowed faintly in violet and blue, claws as long as Alex's forearm, and teeth sharp enough to tear metal. Its eyes were like molten gold, focused directly on him. The humans froze, fear gripping their hearts, but Alex didn't. He felt the rush of adrenaline, the clarity of instinct. He didn't reach for his weapon. He didn't run. He knew what he had to do. The creature charged. Alex rolled to the side, narrowly avoiding the swipe of a massive claw. He grabbed a thick branch from the ground, swinging it toward the creature, but it barely noticed. The monster's movements were fast, almost too fast for the eye to follow. Alex dodged again, ducking under a sweeping tail. Then he saw an opening. The creature's underbelly wasn't fully armored. Without hesitation, Alex ran straight at it, ducked under a swing, and jumped onto its back, gripping its spines with all his strength. It roared, thrashing wildly, trying to throw him off. Alex's muscles burned, his fingers scraped against sharp scales, but he held on. Using his legs and core strength, he slammed his fist against the creature's side, feeling a deep thud echo through his arm. The monster stumbled, surprised by the human's daring attack. Alex jumped off just in time, landing in a crouch, ready for the next move. He didn't have weapons, but he had courage, and sometimes that was stronger than steel. From the shadows, someone was watching. Hidden behind a thick tree with long silver hair and eyes that glowed like the sun's, was Princess Lyra of Zytheria. She had been exploring the forest in secret, curious about these strange humans. She gasped, almost unable to believe what she was seeing. No one had ever faced one of Zytheria's wild beasts like this and survived, let alone fought barehanded. The way Alex moved, the way he calculated each strike, the way he never gave up made her heart race. "Who is he?" she whispered to herself. I wish he were my husband." Alex noticed movement out of the corner of his eye, but the battle demanded all his attention. The creature lunged at him again. He rolled, kicked, and grabbed a fallen tree branch, swinging it like a lever to knock the creature off balance. It fell heavily to the ground, letting out a final roar that shook the forest. Alex stood, breathing heavily, his clothes torn and dirt-covered, sweat dripping down his face. The team slowly emerged from their hiding places, staring in awe. Even the Zytherian guides looked amazed. No human had ever fought a wild creature like that and lived. Captain Harris ran toward him. "Alex, are you crazy? That thing could have killed you 10 times over." Alex smiled faintly, wiping the sweat from his brow. "Maybe, but it didn't. And now it won't hurt anyone else." From her hiding place, Princess Lyra stepped forward, her presence graceful but commanding. Alex didn't see her at first, but when he did, he froze slightly. Her eyes were unlike anything he had seen, glowing faintly with intelligence and curiosity. "You survived," Lyra said softly, "and fought without weapons. That takes strength, courage, heart." Alex tilted his head. Thank you. Are you part of the local team?" Lyra smiled faintly. Lyra, I was just watching. No one fights like that here. Not even the best Etherian warriors." Alex laughed nervously. Well, I've had some training back on Earth, and I guess I don't like backing down. Lyra's eyes sparkled. It's more than training. You are remarkable. I've never seen anyone face a wild creature so fearlessly, so bravely. Alex shrugged, still catching his breath. I do what I have to. I don't think about fear. The two of them stood in silence for a moment, the forest around them echoing the quiet aftermath of the battle. Alex felt something strange, an energy, a connection he couldn't explain. Lyra felt the same, a mix of admiration and something deeper stirring in her heart. Captain Harris cleared his throat. Alex, we should get moving. There could be more of them. Alex nodded, glancing once more at Lyra. Right, let's go. As the team moved deeper into the alien forest, Lyra followed quietly at a distance, still hidden. She watched Alex lead his team with confidence, making decisions that kept everyone safe. His mind worked fast, his body moved faster, and he didn't rely on gadgets or weapons. He's different, Lyra whispered again. I've never met anyone like him. I wish... Her voice trailed off, lost in thought. Alex didn't know it yet, but this encounter would change everything. He had come to Zytheria as an explorer, a stranger on a distant planet, but the seeds of something extraordinary were already planted. Someone powerful and wise had noticed him, someone whose approval could shift the balance of the planet itself. The sun began to set, casting a violet glow across the strange landscape. The team set up camp, still on alert, but Alex couldn't stop thinking about the forest, the fight, and the strange feeling that someone had been watching him, not as a spy, not as a threat, but with curiosity and admiration. As night fell, the alien sky glittered with stars and distant planets. Lyra returned to her palace, her mind spinning with the image of the human who fought like a legend. She couldn't explain why, but she wished he was by her side. Not just as a warrior, but as someone who could understand courage, strength, and heart in a way no one else could. And on Earth, Alex had always wondered if humans were truly special in the universe. That night, under Zytheria's twin moons, he would unknowingly prove it. The battle had ended, but a new journey had just begun, one that would test courage, heart, and the bonds between two very different worlds. The morning light on Zytheria was soft and strange. Two suns rose slowly above the jagged mountains, casting shadows that danced across the alien landscape. Alex and his team packed up their camp, still cautious after the fight with the massive creature. The forest around them was alive with movement. Small glowing insects, towering plants swaying in the wind, and distant calls of unknown animals. Captain Harris scanned the readings on his device. Life signs are high in this area. We need to stay alert. Whatever we fought yesterday might have been just the beginning. Alex nodded. He was tired, yes, but the adrenaline from yesterday's battle still lingered. He felt strong, alive, and strangely confident. There was something about this planet that called to him, something beyond danger and adventure. As the team moved forward, Alex noticed something unusual. Small footprints appeared beside his own, delicate and precise. He stopped, crouching to examine them. They were not human nor any animal he recognized. Captain, do you see this? Alex asked quietly. Harris leaned over, frowning. Could be a local species. Nothing too dangerous, I hope. Alex studied the footprints carefully. They seemed too light, too calculated. Then from behind a tall alien tree, a soft voice spoke. You study the land with human eyes, but you see more than anyone else. Alex turned sharply. A young woman stepped out from the shadows. Her silver hair glowed faintly in the sunlight, and her eyes reflected the colors of the twin suns. Alex froze, unsure if she was friend or foe. Hello, Alex said cautiously. Who are you? The woman smiled softly. I am Lyra, Princess of Zytheria. I saw you yesterday, fighting the creature without weapons. I have never seen courage like yours. Alex blinked. A princess? On this distant planet? He had expected adventure, danger, maybe even aliens, but a royal watching him fight. That was not in the manual. Thank you, Alex said awkwardly. I didn't think anyone saw me. Lyra's eyes sparkled. I did, and I admired what I saw. Your bravery, your quick thinking, it is rare, very rare. Alex felt a strange warmth in his chest. He had faced danger countless times, but admiration from someone so important was new. I'm just doing what I have to do. It's instinct, I guess. Lyra nodded slowly. Instinct, yes. But humans have something more. You fight with heart, not just strength. That is why I watched. That is why I... Wish I could understand you better. Alex studied her face. There was no fear, no judgment, only curiosity and respect. Well, maybe we can understand each other. I'm here to explore, to learn about Zytheria and its people. Lyra's smile grew. Then perhaps we can help each other. I know these lands. I can guide you. And I wish to learn about your world. Your humans. The day passed with Lyra quietly shadowing Alex and his team, though she kept a careful distance. She didn't interfere, but her presence was a comfort even if Alex didn't realize it. Every so often she would point out dangers, hidden crevices, poisonous plants, unstable ground, and Alex would thank her. You know a lot about this forest, Alex said as they crossed a narrow canyon. How long have you explored here? Lyra shrugged. Since I was young. My people trained to know the land, the creatures, and the sky. It is part of our life. But no one has fought like you. Alex smiled faintly. I fight because I have to, not because I'm trained. I guess it works out sometimes. Lyra's eyes softened. It works out because you have courage. Not everyone has that. Not even my strongest warriors. As they walked, Alex noticed Lyra's gaze often lingered on him. At first he thought she was simply observing, but slowly he began to sense something deeper. A quiet admiration, a connection that went beyond words. He wasn't sure what to make of it, but he felt noticed, seen in a way that few humans ever were, even on Earth. Later, they reached a wide river with waters that shimmered like liquid silver. The team needed to cross, but the current was fast. Alex studied it carefully, looking for a safe path. I can jump across, he said, testing the distance. His legs were strong, his reflexes fast. With one leap, he landed safely on the other side, then helped others cross with careful guidance. Lyra watched silently, her eyes wide. Impressive, she said softly. Your mind, your body. It is perfect harmony. You are unlike anyone I have ever seen. Alex chuckled nervously. Thanks, I just try to keep up with the situation. Survival first, heroic second. Lyra smiled, but her thoughts were deeper. Survival, yes. But there is something more. You understand danger and life in a way that touches the soul. That is why I am drawn to you. Alex didn't know what to say. He had never had someone speak to him like this before. Not about his fighting, not about his instincts. He felt both flattered and uneasy, unsure if he should trust her words. The team set up camp again that evening. Fires burned softly, casting warm light against the violet sky. Alex sat quietly, cleaning a few scrapes from the previous day's fight. Lyra approached, carrying a small glowing fruit from the forest. This is safe to eat, she said, offering it to him. It will help your strength. Alex accepted it politely, biting into the sweet, tangy flesh. Thanks. Never had anything like this before. Lyra sat across from him, watching the fire flicker in his eyes. You are brave, strong, and different. I have never met a human like you. You make me wonder what humans could become if they lived on Zytheria. Alex laughed lightly. I'm just one guy. Not sure I can represent all humans. Lyra's expression softened. Perhaps not. But you represent something important. Courage, heart, and the will to face danger without fear. That is rare in any world. The night grew quiet. The team slept exhausted from the long day, but Alex and Lyra remained awake for a while. They spoke of their worlds, Earth with its oceans, cities, and humans. Zytheria, with its alien forests, mountains, and royal traditions. They discovered that despite differences in appearance and culture, they shared values, loyalty, courage, and a desire to protect others. You know, Lyra said softly, I wish humans and Zytherians could understand each other better. Maybe. Someday we will. Alex smiled, feeling an unusual warmth. Maybe we can start that. One step at a time. Lyra nodded, her eyes reflecting the twin moons above. One step, with someone brave enough to take it. As she rose to leave, Alex felt a strange pull in his chest. He didn't fully understand it, but he knew he wanted her near, guiding them, watching over them. He didn't know what the future held, but this bond, this connection, felt important. That night, under the alien stars, both Alex and Lyra thought about each other. One, a human from a distant planet, full of raw courage and quick thinking. The other, a princess of a world full of tradition, wisdom, and hidden strength. Neither knew what the future would bring, but both sensed that meeting was no accident. The forest around them was alive, whispering with the wind and the creatures of Zytheria. Alex slept fitfully, dreams filled with strange beasts and glowing lights. Lyra returned to her palace, her heart stirred by the human who had fought with nothing but his hands and courage. For both of them, the adventure had only begun. And somewhere in the vast forests of Xitheria, a quiet bond was forming, one that could change the destiny of humans, Xitherians, and the worlds beyond. The next morning, Alex awoke to the soft violet light of Xitheria's twin suns filtering through the canopy of the forest. Birds with translucent wings flitted above, their songs echoing faintly through the trees. He stretched, feeling the aches from yesterday's battle, but there was no time to rest. Captain Harris called the team together. "We have received a message from the Xitherian palace," Harris said, showing a glowing device. "They want to test your abilities, for your safety and theirs. It seems someone important has taken an interest in you." Alex raised an eyebrow. "Someone important?" Harris hesitated. "I think it's the princess." Alex's jaw tightened. He didn't know much about royalty, but he understood one thing. A princess watching him meant expectations. Not just for survival, but for honor, soon. They arrived at the palace, a grand structure of gleaming towers and floating walkways, all carved from a material that seemed alive, glowing faintly with inner light. Alex had never seen anything like it. Humans had cities of steel and glass, but nothing that pulsed with life. Princess Lyra awaited them in the main courtyard, surrounded by Xitherian guards and advisors. Her presence was commanding yet calm. Alex bowed slightly, a gesture of respect he had learned from his travels. "Alex," Lyra said, her voice gentle but firm, "I have seen your courage. But here on Xitheria, courage alone is not enough. You must prove your heart and mind, not just your strength." Alex nodded. "I understand. What do I need to do?" Lyra smiled faintly. "You will face the trials of valor. These are designed to test warriors in mind, body, and spirit. Only those worthy of respect may pass. Are you ready?" Alex glanced at his team. They nodded supportively. "I'm ready." The first trial took place in a vast arena surrounded by floating platforms and shimmering energy walls. Alex faced a series of mechanical beasts, each designed to challenge reflexes, speed, and strategy. Unlike the wild creatures of the forest, these beasts followed precise patterns, testing his ability to think quickly and act decisively. The first beast lunged at him with blinding speed. Alex ducked, rolled, and countered with a calculated strike to its exposed joint. The machine stumbled, then adapted, forcing him to change tactics mid-fight. Alex didn't panic. He analyzed, predicted, and acted, moving with a combination of human intuition and raw physical skill. When the last mechanical beast fell, Alex stood panting, sweat dripping down his face, his heart pounding. The Xitherians watching, including Lyra, applauded, though the princess's gaze remained serious. She was impressed, yes, but she wanted to see more than fighting skill. She wanted to see his spirit. The second trial took place in the Caverns of Reflection, a labyrinth filled with mirrors, illusions, and tests of morality. Alex had to navigate the maze, avoiding traps and deceptive paths. But it was not just a test of agility, it was a test of heart. In one chamber, Alex found a Xitherian child trapped under a heavy crystal slab. The trial offered him a choice: continue through the maze to finish quickly or stop and help the child. Many warriors might have ignored the child to win, but Alex acted without hesitation. Using his strength and careful technique, he lifted the crystal and freed the child. The mirrors around him shimmered, and the labyrinth shifted. Alex realized the trial was not just about survival. It was about empathy, compassion, and understanding the value of life beyond personal success. Lyra observed silently from above, her heart stirred. "He is different," she whispered. "He is not only brave, but he cares. That is why I am drawn to him." The third trial was the trial of wisdom, a challenge designed to test intellect and strategy. Alex had to solve complex puzzles to unlock doors while being pursued by holographic predators. Each puzzle required logic, timing, and careful planning. Alex's mind worked quickly, combining his Earth knowledge with keen observation of Xitherian patterns. He moved deliberately, avoiding the predators while solving each puzzle, unlocking the final gate just as the holograms closed in. The crowd watching erupted into cheers, but Alex barely noticed. His focus had been complete, his mind clear. When he turned, he saw Lyra smiling, admiration shining in her eyes. "You have passed all trials," she said softly, stepping forward. "Your strength, courage, and heart are remarkable. Humans are extraordinary. And you, Alex, have proven yourself beyond measure." Alex bowed slightly. "Thank you. I only did what I felt was right." "That's all?" Lyra's gaze softened. "It is more than right. You have shown something rare, the ability to act with both strength and kindness. That is why I wish you were closer to me, someone I could rely on, someone who could share the burdens of leadership and life." Alex felt a strange warmth in his chest. The words surprised him, yet they did not feel strange. There was honesty, sincerity, and a connection he could not explain. I don't know what to say." "That is very kind of you," Lyra smiled. "Say nothing for now. Let actions speak. You have already shown me everything I need to know." The trials were over, but they had changed something in Alex. He realized that courage was not just about fighting beasts. It was about facing choices, protecting others, and thinking clearly under pressure. And for the first time, he understood that someone might see him as more than just a fighter. Someone might see the heart behind the strength. After the trials, the team gathered in a courtyard filled with alien flowers that glowed faintly in the sunlight. Zitherian warriors and humans alike celebrated the human who had faced every challenge and emerged victorious. Alex felt a mix of pride and humility. He had done well, but it was not for glory. It was because it was right. Lyra approached him again, holding a small, glowing crystal. "This is a symbol of respect and courage," she said. "It is given only to those who prove themselves worthy. You have earned it." Alex accepted it carefully, feeling its warmth in his hand. "Thank you. I will honor it." Lyra's eyes lingered on him. "Your presence here is changing how my people see humans. They respect you, yes, but more importantly, they see that humans can be allies, friends, even equals." Alex smiled, feeling the weight of responsibility. "I hope I can live up to that. I didn't come here to prove anything, but I want to help, both humans and Zitherians." Lyra nodded. "And that is why I am drawn to you. Not only for your strength, but for your heart. That is rare in any world." As the sun set over the palace, casting long shadows across the glowing towers, Alex and Lyra stood together, watching the horizon. The twin suns dipped lower, painting the sky in shades of violet and gold. "You are remarkable, Alex," Lyra said quietly. "And I feel something I cannot explain. A connection, a bond. Perhaps it is destiny." Alex looked at her, feeling the same pull he had felt since the forest battle. "Maybe it is. I don't know the ways of your world fully, but I feel the same. Something important is beginning here." Lyra smiled faintly, her silver hair glowing in the evening light. "Then let us see where it leads. Let us learn from each other and protect this world together." As night fell, the stars of Zytheria shone brighter than Alex had ever seen. Floating islands glimmered in the distance, and the forests whispered softly in the wind. He knew that challenges lay ahead, more creatures, more battles, perhaps even wars. But he also knew that he was not alone. Princess Lyra had seen his courage, his heart, and his strength. And he had seen hers in her wisdom, her kindness, and her determination. Together they had the potential to change not only Zytheria, but the future of humans and Zytherians alike. For Alex, the trials of valor were more than a test. They were the beginning of a new chapter. One that would lead him to face dangers beyond imagination, to earn trust and respect, and perhaps to discover a bond that could span worlds. And Princess Lyra, observing quietly as Alex rested that night, knew that she had found someone extraordinary, someone worthy of courage, someone who could share her world, her burdens, and perhaps even her heart. The journey was just beginning. The morning on Zytheria began like any other, with twin suns rising above the jagged mountains and forests glowing softly in violet light. Alex and the human team were preparing for another day of exploration, while Princess Lyra walked quietly through the palace gardens, thinking about the human who had proven himself in the trials of valor. But the calm did not last. Suddenly alarms echoed across the palace. Glowing symbols flashed on the walls, signaling danger. Zytherian warriors ran to their posts, and the humans quickly gathered, ready for anything. Captain Harris grabbed Alex by the arm. "We've got trouble. Sensors detect a massive alien fleet approaching the capital. They're not here for peace." Alex's heart raced, but his expression remained calm. "How many?" he asked, scanning the readings. Lyra joined them, her eyes serious. "Too many to fight conventionally. This is the Riverans, an enemy faction from the neighboring star system. They know about the humans and they see us as weak." Alex clenched his fists. "Not today. I won't let them hurt anyone." The palace gates opened, revealing the first wave of enemy ships descending from the sky. They were massive, armored with strange metals that shimmered in the sunlight. Zetherian defenses fired energy blasts, but the enemy's shields absorbed much of the attack. The humans prepared as well, though many were unsure how much help they could be. Alex didn't wait for hesitation. "We need to protect the civilians first. Follow me." He dashed toward the city streets, helping people take cover, guiding children and elders to safety. His movements were quick, precise, and fearless. He didn't have weapons as powerful as the enemy's, but his courage and quick thinking made him a natural leader. Lyra followed closely, rallying her warriors. "Protect the people! Do not let them escape," she shouted. Her presence inspired the Zetherians to fight with renewed determination. As the Riveran troops landed, enormous creatures with armor and sharp claws, Alex realized that this battle would not be simple. One of the monsters lunged at a group of civilians, its roar shaking the streets. Without hesitation, Alex ran straight at it, dodging its claw with a roll and striking it barehanded. The creature staggered, surprised by the human's bravery, giving the civilians time to escape. Alex fought with every ounce of strength, using his body to block attacks and protect others. He didn't rely on weapons, he relied on instinct, courage, and sheer determination. Lyra watched from above, her heart racing. She had seen bravery before, but what Alex was doing now was extraordinary. He was not just fighting for glory, he was risking his life for others. Her admiration for him grew deeper. "Alex," she shouted from a distance. "Over here. Follow me." He ran toward her, helping to push back a group of enemy soldiers attacking a defenseless squad of Zetherian warriors. Together, human and princess moved as one, inspiring everyone around them. Zetherian archers, energy warriors, and even the palace guards began coordinating with the humans, following Alex's lead. The battle raged through the city. Explosions shook buildings, and the sky was filled with flashing lights from energy blasts. Alex dodged a falling beam of energy and vaulted over a debris pile, landing beside a group of Zetherian children trapped near a collapsed tower. "Come on, quickly," he shouted, lifting debris with incredible strength. The children ran past him, safety finally within reach. Then, from the distance, a massive Riveran commander appeared. Its armor gleamed, and its size dwarfed even the largest Zetherian warriors. It let out a roar that made the ground tremble. Alex knew this was the ultimate test. He had fought wild beasts, mechanical trials, and moral challenges, but nothing like this. The creature advanced, smashing through defenses, destroying everything in its path. Lyra joined him. "Alex, be careful. It is enormous." "I've faced worse," Alex said, gripping his fists. "We have to stop it." He charged toward the commander, dodging massive strikes. His speed and reflexes surprised the creature, which was used to overwhelming smaller opponents. Alex used the environment to his advantage, diving under swinging limbs, vaulting over rubble, and landing precise punches on exposed joints. The Riveran commander roared again, frustrated by the human who dared to oppose it. It swung wildly, but Alex kept his focus. He noticed a weak spot near its chest where armor plates did not fully connect. He waited for the right moment. The creature lunged, and Alex rolled to the side, striking its weak spot with full force. The impact echoed through the city. The commander stumbled, then crashed into a building, shaking the entire area. Lyra gasped. "Alex, you did it!" Alex didn't stop. He pushed forward, coordinating with the Zetherian warriors, helping them strike at the enemy while protecting civilians. The Riverans were strong, but morale began to falter as humans and Zetherians fought together, inspired by Alex's bravery. The battle lasted for hours. Civilians were evacuated, soldiers regrouped, and slowly, the enemy began to retreat. The Riveran commander, severely injured, roared one last time before retreating into the sky, leaving the city in silence. Alex collapsed to his knees, exhausted but relieved. He had done more than survive. He had protected lives, inspired a people, and proven that humans could stand as equals among Zetherians. Lyra rushed to him, concern and admiration in her eyes. "Are you all right?" she asked softly. Alex nodded, breathing heavily. I will be, but we need to rebuild. We need to make sure this doesn't happen again. She extended her hand to him, her gaze serious. You were incredible, Alex, not just strong, but brave, selfless, and clever. You have saved many lives today. You are more than I ever imagined. Alex took her hand, feeling a connection that went beyond words. I just did what I had to do. That's all. Lyra shook her head, smiling faintly. It is more than that. You showed what humans can be, and what they can bring to our world. You are extraordinary. The city began to recover. Buildings were repaired, Cytherian technology restored, and the citizens returned, grateful and inspired. Tales of the human who fought barehanded against impossible odds spread quickly, reaching even the distant parts of Cytheria. That evening, Lyra led Alex to a quiet balcony overlooking the city. The twin suns had set, leaving the sky filled with glowing stars and distant planets. The city lights reflected in the rivers and streets, painting a picture of resilience and hope. You know, Lyra said softly, I have seen many warriors, humans and Cytherians alike, but you are different. You fight not for glory, but for others. That is why I wish you were by my side, not just as a protector, but as someone who can share life with me. Alex felt a strange warmth. The words were honest, heartfelt, and something he had never heard before. Lyra, I don't know what to say. I've never had anyone see me like that before. She smiled faintly. You don't need to say anything. I only want you to know that your courage and heart have touched me, and my people. Together, I believe we can face any threat, overcome any challenge, and protect our worlds. Alex nodded slowly. Understanding. Then we'll face it together. Humans and Cytherians side by side. Lyra's eyes glowed softly in the moonlight. Yes, together. As night settled over the city, Alex stood silently, looking at the stars. He had fought creatures, survived trials, and now faced enemies from another world. He realized that courage, heart, and determination were universal traits, no matter the planet, no matter the species. And somewhere beside him, Princess Lyra felt the same. She had seen his strength, his bravery, and his heart. She knew that this human, so different yet so extraordinary, could stand with her through every danger, every challenge, and every unknown future. The Riverans had retreated, but Alex knew they would return. Stronger, smarter, more dangerous. But he also knew that with courage, wisdom, and allies like Lyra, they could face anything. Tonight, Cytheria was safe. Tomorrow, the real challenge would begin. And as the twin moons rose over the alien city, Alex and Lyra stood together, ready to face whatever came next. Not just as warrior and princess, but as partners in courage, heart, and hope. The dawn on Cytheria was quiet, almost peaceful. After the battle with the Riverans, the city had begun to rebuild, and life slowly returned to normal. Humans and Cytherians worked side by side, clearing rubble, repairing buildings, and restoring energy grids. The alliance between the two species had grown stronger, inspired by the courage Alex had shown in the fight. Alex stood on the balcony of the palace, looking out over the city. The streets below were filled with workers, children laughing as they played, and warriors patrolling to ensure safety. It was a scene of hope, a sign that even after chaos, life could flourish. Princess Lyra joined him silently, her silver hair glowing in the early sunlight. She stood beside him, watching the bustling city with quiet pride. You did this, she said softly. Not just fought the Riverans, but gave people hope. Humans and Cytherians alike look to you now. You have changed more than the city, you have changed hearts. Alex shook his head, feeling humbled. I just did what I could. There were brave Cytherians, too. You and your warriors stood strong, I just helped where I could. Lyra smiled, but her gaze was serious. It is more than helping. You fought with courage, skill, and heart. You showed what humans are capable of. That is why I wish you were my husband. Alex turned to her, surprised. Her words were honest and heartfelt, and he felt something stirred deep within him. A warmth, a connection he could not explain. He had fought for survival, for honor, and for others. But now he realized he was fighting for something more. The trust and bond between himself and someone extraordinary. I don't know what to say, he admitted. I've never had anyone speak to me like that before. Lyra's eyes softened. Then say nothing. Let your actions speak as they always do. I only want you to know what I feel and what I hope for. Together I believe humans and Cytherians can learn from each other, protect each other, and perhaps even build a future together. Alex nodded slowly, understanding. Then we'll face the future together. Humans and Zetherians side by side. The day passed with preparations for a formal ceremony in the palace courtyard. Alex and his team were invited to witness a celebration honoring the courage of humans and their new alliance with Zetheria. Banners waved in the twin suns' light, and the citizens cheered as their defenders and allies were recognized. As Alex walked through the courtyard, children ran up to him, touching his hands and asking questions. "Are you really the one who fought the Riverand commander barehanded?" A small Zetherian child asked, eyes wide with admiration. Alex laughed lightly. "I tried my best. It was a team effort." Lyra watched from a nearby balcony, her heart swelling with pride. She had observed the humans closely, and Alex's humility, courage, and kindness had impressed her more than his strength alone ever could. She knew then that he was someone rare, someone who could bridge worlds. As the ceremony began, the High Council of Zetheria addressed the citizens. "Today we honor not only our warriors but also our new allies, the humans," the council leader said. "Through courage, heart, and unity, they have helped defend our planet. Their bravery proves that strength is not only in numbers or weapons, but in spirit." The crowd erupted in applause. Alex felt a mix of pride and humility. He had never imagined being celebrated on another world. Yet here he was, recognized not for glory, but for courage and the choices he had made to protect life. After the ceremony, Lyra approached him in private. "Alex, the council wishes to offer you a place here on Zetheria, not just as a visitor, but as someone who can help guide, protect, and teach." Alex blinked, surprised. "Here, on your planet?" "Yes," Lyra said, her voice gentle but firm. "You have shown that humans are extraordinary, and I wish for you to stay, not only for your strength, but for your heart. Together we can build a future where our people live in trust, respect, and friendship." Alex thought of Earth, of the team waiting for him, and of the journey that had brought him here. But he also thought of the bond he had formed with Lyra and the people of Zetheria. I would be honored," he finally said. "I want to help, to learn, and to protect side by side with you." Lyra's eyes sparkled with warmth. "Then let this be a promise," she said, taking his hand. "Not only for this world, but for both our peoples. A promise that humans and Zetherians will stand together, not as strangers or enemies, but as allies and friends. And as partners, if that is your choice." Alex squeezed her hand gently. "It is my choice, and I choose this. Choosing you, choosing this bond, and choosing the future we can build together." The two of them stood together, watching the city below as preparations continued. The people celebrated, unaware of the deeper connection forming between the human and the princess. A connection that had begun with courage, respect, and admiration, and now blossomed into trust, partnership, and something more profound. As the day gave way to night, the twin moons rose over the city. Their glow reflected in the rivers, the towers, and the alien forests surrounding the capital. Alex and Lyra walked together along a quiet balcony, talking about what the future might hold, training new warriors, teaching humans and Zetherians to understand each other, and preparing for any threats that might come from neighboring star systems. "You know," Lyra said softly, "I never imagined that meeting a human would change everything. I never imagined I would find someone so brave, so strong, and so kind." Alex smiled faintly. "I never imagined coming to another planet and finding someone like you. I thought I would explore, fight, and survive. But now, I've found more than adventure. I've found trust, friendship, and you." Lyra's eyes glowed in the moonlight. "Then we will face whatever comes next together. Not as princess and human, but as partners, allies, and friends. And perhaps in time something more." Alex nodded, feeling the weight of the words and the depth of the bond forming between them. Yes, together. The city below them had survived the greatest threat it had faced in decades. Humans and Zetherians had fought side by side, learning from each other, protecting each other, and discovering that courage and heart were universal. And in the quiet moments, when the stars reflected on the rivers and forests, Alex and Lyra felt the promise of a new beginning, a future where two worlds could unite through trust, respect, and shared bravery. The Riverands would return one day. There were always threats in the galaxy, but Alex no longer feared them, not alone, not with Lyra and the people of Zetheria standing by his side. They had proven that courage could cross worlds, that heart could inspire armies, and that unity could change destinies. That night, as they stood together on the palace balcony, Alex and Lyra looked up at the stars, imagining the endless possibilities. Worlds to explore, creatures to understand, and challenges to face. But they also imagined a life together, one built on courage, respect, and the bond that had begun with a single, fearless human fighting barehanded in an alien forest. Tomorrow, Lyra said quietly, we continue to build, to protect, and to grow. But tonight, let us remember what we have accomplished, and what we can become, together. Alex smiled, holding her hand. Together. As the twin moons rose higher, casting silver light across the city and forests, a sense of peace and hope settled over Zytheria. The humans had proven themselves. The Zytherians had learned the value of courage and heart beyond strength. And Alex and Lyra had discovered a bond that could unite two worlds. The journey that began with a barehanded battle in the forest had led to trust, partnership, and the promise of a future where humans and Zytherians stood together, not just as warriors and rulers, but as friends, allies, and perhaps, in time, as family. And so, under the glowing stars of Zytheria, a new chapter began, a story of courage, heart, and unity, where two very different worlds could find common ground and a shared destiny. The adventure was far from over, but for the first time, Alex and Lyra knew that together, they could face anything. The stars above twinkled brightly, and somewhere in the distance, new possibilities awaited.